Hi guys, I'm Steph. Thanks so much for checking out my channel today. If you like this eye look and the whole look in general, then make sure you keep on watching because in this Get Ready With Me, I will be featuring the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions, giving you my full thoughts on it, a little mini review, letting you know if I think it is worth it. And you guys can see how I got the rest of this look. So I am currently testing out the Fenty foundation. So I have the primer on this side of my face and then I have the foundation everywhere. But I still wanted to do the rest of my Get Ready With Me with you guys. That was weirdly phrased. Anyway, so if you want to see the application of these two products, that will be in tomorrow's video when I do my first impression foundation on the Fenty foundation. So because I am doing a first impression, I don't like to go in with a powder or concealer. I kind of want to see how the foundation holds up on its own. So this Get Ready With Me is going to be skipping a lot of those steps, which is fine though because I am here to be talking about the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions. This is going to be the highlight of this video. Next, I'm going to go in with my cream highlighter. So this is the Benefit What's Up. It's in my project pan. So I just like to do like little V's, really just get it here. And sometimes I have to go down the bridge of my nose, especially because I didn't do concealer today to brighten up that area. I want to have something that's brightening up that area. Besides my eyeshadow brushes, none of them are really clean, so sorry about that. And then I just like to use like a flat top one to kind of just like push it into the skin. So that is my 2018 project pan, but this is in my summer project pan. This is the Physicians Formula Happy Booster Bronzer. Looks like this. It's a very glowy bronzer. All my brushes are like over there, so I'm just going to go in with this and just make my face all glowy and pretty. And sometimes if we're going to do around the temples, I like to go in with a matte bronzer, but like it's summer. This one does have like a bit of a more than a sheen. I would say it does have some sparkle to it, but like I like it, and it's the summer. Like when else are you going to use this sparkly bronzer? So, and to be honest, I'm just at home today. I'm not really going out as far as I know, so I might as well glow it up. Next, I'm going in with my Tarte Party Blush. This was the Sephora birthday gift last year, so I'm sure it's familiar to a lot of you. You might even have it in your collection. And I just wanted to go with a more neutral blush today because I really want the eye to be the star of this look. And I really like this blush. And lately I feel like I've been going further back with my blush and I've just really been liking how that looks. Before I used to concentrate on the apples of my cheeks, but I've just been really enjoying going back with it and really bringing it back. I think it just gives like such a nice natural flush to the face. This side looks really intense. I promise you in person. It's going to calm down. Don't worry. I feel like my makeup always looks intense like right away, but then it doesn't. So usually I like to go in with a powder highlight over a cream one just to kind of intensify it a bit, especially because that Benefit one, while it is beautiful, is very natural looking. So I'm going in with my 17 Instant Glow Pink Bronze Shimmer Brick, which is a dupe for the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, and a lot of companies have a very similar type of product. And because I am so fair, I tend to go in with the top shade, maybe like the top two shades, but I very rarely creep into the bottom shades, maybe if I'm using it as an eyeshadow, but not really as a highlighter. Like I said, I felt like my look was looking a bit much, so I just like to go in with a clean, more fluffy brush and kind of just like buff everything together so it doesn't seem so streaky or intense. Sometimes it's because the bronzer's here and not down here. It can look too stark, so I just like to meld it in together because I'm not trying to contour, I'm just trying to bring some life to the cheeks, so I'm okay if the bronzer comes down a bit more. Now I feel like it looks nice and fresh and not too much. I'm going to quickly do my brows off camera, but I'm going to be using the Benefit Brow and the Essence Make Me Brow. This is a fiber gel mascara. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. I recently just picked it up and it is a lot darker than I thought it would be. I'm gonna go do my brows and you guys can see what I mean. So I'm back. I look so intense with just the eyebrows done. I tried to wipe off the spoolie on the edge so not so much product was coming out, but What do you guys think? Are these too dark? I guess we kind of have to see the rest of the eye look before we can determine that. But like, obviously they look quite intense right now. I feel like they look fine or they look intense. Like there's no like, oh, they could be, like there's no like in the middle. It's like too much or okay. Usually it's too much. So before we go in with the eyeshadow, I'm actually going to go in with my eyeliner just because I find that, especially when I want to line the upper lash line, like the inner rim, I find sometimes I have to pull and I don't want to mess up my eyeshadow if I've already done that. So I'm going to go in with that color already. So I'm going to line my upper rim with the Rimmel Scandalize in Aubergine. Okay, so I just lined the upper rim with that, and usually when I blink it transfers to the lower, so we're just going to deal with that for now, but I think I am probably going to go back in later to line the lower rim with something else. We shall see how I feel. So first step, going in with my eye primer, and I'm going to be using this e.l.f. one. I don't really know what the name of it is. It's like their basic eye primer in sheer. So I'm just going to put this on both lids, and then I'm just going to tap it out and smooth it out, and I just want to go all the way from my lash line up to my brow bone and just coat that whole area in primer. Now we can be sure everything is going to stick. So now for the start of the show, this is the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions, and Obsessions is a good name because I love these mini palettes. My mom had the warm brown one and then I kind of took it from her, and I've been loving this one. I do have Bold Obsessions, but I haven't dived into it yet, and then Coral and Gemstone just released, and those both look so beautiful. Initially I was just in a Coral, but then I like swatched the Gemstone one. I was like, oh, so pretty. I don't believe these have shade names. I'm just going to be going in with this creamy shade right here and setting the whole area that we just primed. So I like to go in with a fluffier brush like this, and then just easily, we're just going to put it everywhere. It's like my favorite step. I don't have to be too precise. So I have been loving this palette for the last few months, and I've been meaning to do this Get Ready With Me so I could tell you all about it, but life has just been crazy. But we're not here to talk about crazy life, we're here to talk about this eyeshadow palette. So it does a great job of setting down everything, canceling everything out. We have a nice blank canvas to work with. So as my transition shade, I like to go in with this middle one. It's kind of the more lighter toned of them. It's just a good one to go into. You haven't really decided what your look is going to look like yet. And because I have slightly hooded eyes, I like to just go a bit above my natural crease, just so you can actually see the color. And I would say that got a little bit intense. I'm just going in with this clean, fluffier brush and just blending it all out so it's just nice and soft. I don't want anything too harsh. So this palette comes with 9 shades. As you can see, we have 3 shimmers, the rest are mattes, and I would say these mattes are very nicely pigmented. I really like them. I find that I don't go in too much. It gives me just the right amount of color. You can dip back in for a little bit more, and I don't find these to be too powdery. I still like to tap off my brush so I'm not putting too much pigment out there, but I really like the way these shadows are formulated. As I've said, I really think that I've only ever tried the warm brown one, but this is definitely comparable, and this is actually the one I did pick up. Like I said, I took the other one from my mom. Like, these are the colors I was initially drawn to. So just to quickly talk about the palette, these 2 shades might look very similar, but this one definitely comes off a lot warmer. It is more of like a burgundy color, and this one is more of like a plum. So though they might look similar in the pan, they do appear quite different. Just to show you what else, we've already used this shade right here and this cream shade. If I'm going for a more cooler look, I like to go in with this one. But if I want something more warm, oh, that switched my hands, I go in with this one here, which is what we're going to be doing today. And since I'm just doing them all for you, let's just do these shimmers, which are just so crazy beautiful. They're so, I feel like, they're so reflective. I love them all so much. This one is like a beautiful inner corner highlight all over the lid, These two are beautiful all over the lid. This could even be an inner corner highlight or a nice gradient between them. There's just a lot you can do with this palette, even though it is only 9 pans. So like I said, I am feeling more of a warm look, so we're going to go in with this shade right here on a bit of a smaller brush. Just dab that in there. And I'm going to put this one more into the crease and just really warm it up. I love this shade. I like go back and forth between what my favorite shades are in this palette, but this shade always just looks so beautiful. Instantly, like the eye look just looks so much more bam. Like I said, these are pigmented. They're so beautiful. I love that color. Like I feel like doesn't this eye already just look so much more dramatic and intense and beautiful than this eye? And that was just one shade in the crease, and it already has made such a big difference. And I want to make this eye a little bit more dramatic, so I am going to do some work on the outer portion, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Like we already said, even though it looks very dark, it does have quite a red warm tint to it. And you'll see on the lid, I feel like once you actually like blend it out, it's a lot less dark than it is in the pan. The darker colors aren't as true in the pan as they actually are when blended out. So if you're worried you're going in with something too dark, you don't have to worry too much. However, if you want to go in with something too dark, you might want to really pack it on or pull from somewhere else, or make sure you're just not blending it out as much. So I'm just really focusing this on like the outer third of my eye. And I'm just going to use this clean brush again and just kind of blend everything together. So the thing with these shadows is that they transfer everywhere. So I have slightly hooded eyes, and if I don't prime them and set them and everything, I find that the pigment can transfer from my lid up to here, and it does not look cute. And yes, that's with the mattes, but 100% way more with the shimmers. Whenever I just wore the shimmer on its own over this look, my shimmer would be all the way up here. There would be nothing left on my lid. It did not look cute at all. So for a while I was kind of like, I love the colors, but like whenever I wear this for a long period of time, it just looks ridiculous. So I realized before you go in with that shimmery shades, you need to go in with a glitter glue. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced glitter glue. This is just a glitter shadow primer. I know NYX has one, e.l.f. has one. As long as like those work for you, I'm not saying you need to go get the Too Faced one. So I'm going to just dab that in the center here and the center here. I probably took out way too much. And just, I have tiny little eyelids, so I just want to put this everywhere where I'm going to be putting more of a shimmery shade. And a glitter primer is a bit more tacky than a regular primer, so everything's going to adhere to it a lot better. And sometimes I'll just go in with like a small concealer type brush and make sure that I don't want it to be chunky on my lid, so I'm just going to smooth that out. And while you could go in with a flat shader brush to pick up the shimmer, I just feel like it looks so more intense if you use your finger. So I'm going to go for, actually I'm going to go for this shade, which is like very, I would say this is like the darkest of them, because I just want to show you how beautiful intense it can be. So I'm just going to place that on the lid, and can you see how reflective and beautiful that is? And it's going to stay there because I put the glitter glue, but if I didn't, it would be all up here, nothing would be on my lid. So that was probably the biggest learning curve for me with this palette, was figuring out like I really needed that glitter glue. And because of the glitter glue, I'm just going to go in back in with this darker shade and darken up that outer third again, because it kind of got toned down, and blend it again. And now I'm going to go in with this shade here. I'm going to use it as my inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to use this tiny little brush. I love this on the inner corner. I think it's so beautiful. The shimmers are very soft, so be careful with them because you can have some crumble. But look, do you see that? Right here, it's so pretty. I find that these shades can be a little difficult to get at with the brush. That's why I tend to use my finger, but for something as so small as this area. I wanted to be a bit more precise. And I'm actually going to go in with this shade right here and kind of connect the inner corner to the rest of the look. And I'm just going to go in with that brush again. And we're just going to connect from here into here. Have a little bit of transition with that pink. Just want to like show you all the shades, especially the shimmers, because I just think they're so beautiful. So even though I used a brush for those last two, you can still see how intense they are. So if you don't like using your fingers, you don't need to get that beautiful payoff. So then you can kind of see the pink going into the darker color. And we can't forget about the lower lash line. With a look this warm, I love to go back into this color here. Usually whatever I use in the crease is what I try to do on the lower lash line. And I'm just going to go in with my NYX white liner and just do the lower rim. And because some of that purple transferred, it's going to look more like a light purple shade than a white. There we go, just brighten up the look a little bit. So in case you couldn't tell, I absolutely love this palette. I just think this look is so pretty, and I would say like my favorite looks from the past couple months have been based around this palette. I've just loved all the looks. I think they're just so beautiful. To finish it off, because I really want the eye look to show through, I'm going to go in with this mascara that it gives my lashes some volume, some length, a little bit of curl and everything, but it's not so much where you can't see the look, because I hate spending so much time on my eyeshadow. It looks so pretty and then you can't see it behind my lashes. And I, like I said, have hooded lids, so there's not that much, and I have small eyes, so there's not a lot of lid space, and I don't want all that hard work to go unnoticed because my lashes are huge. And I just feel like this look speaks for itself. I don't even want to do like a liner on top of it, and you could put false lashes with this if you really wanted a dramatic look. I personally don't know how to do false lashes, so you're never gonna see that in my looks until I figure out how to do it. But I just think you don't even need it. Like, the look speaks for itself. You can still have beautiful lashes from mascara. And I got a bit of mascara here, so I'm just going to roll that away with a Q-tip. So there's look. I feel like you still have the intensity and the beautifulness, and you haven't covered up the look. To finish it off, we need to go in with our lip color, and I'm going to stick with that mauviness by going with this lip shade here. This is from Sephora. It's one of their cream lip stains. I believe the name of the shade linked down below, because they don't like put their shade names on their containers with their lip colors, I find, but they're on their website. So this lip is a bit more grayer, cooler, and it kind of actually matches the look, the color we put in the transition. I feel like it goes very close with that color, which is kind of funny. But if you love warm looks, you wanted to make this look more warm, you could go with a lighter shade. You could go with a nude. A nice berry would look beautiful. There's just a lot of ways you can do this eye look, change up the lip, and it can change up the whole look. But I'm really happy with this. I'm going to pull down my hair for you so you can see what it looks like all together. Here is the completed look. If you couldn't figure it out, I love the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions. I love these little obsession palettes. I think they are such great quality. You get 9 shades that are very decently sized. Those glitters are so intense. They're so beautifully pigmented. I love these little eyeshadow palettes. I think they're great for travel, but like sometimes people have travel palettes they only use for traveling. Like, I use this palette so much. This might be one of my most used palettes. I really enjoy it. If you're thinking about it, I highly suggest going into a store, doing some swatches, thinking about our mauves, your type of shade, because if you don't like mauves, there's no point in picking this up. Like, if this color story does not speak to you, don't get the palette. But maybe check out some of the other Obsession palettes. I just think overall they are so beautiful, and I don't see why the formula would be different in any of them. Like I said, I haven't tried them all. I've only tried this and the warm browns, but I've found that the quality is very similar between those two, and I'm so happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little get ready with me, and if you want to hear more about the foundation, make sure you subscribe, because that will be tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.